Extended forecast, a little bit of a drying trend trying to creep in. That's what I'll discuss later.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Now, all this wet weather has created a haven for mosquitoes.
Standing water is something of a breeding ground for the pests, and that's causing problems for people all across Hampton Roads.
13 News Now reporter Ali Weatherton went to Suffolk to find out why city crews are struggling to keep the mosquitoes at bay.
The weather's been unpredictable,
which makes Suffolk mosquito control's job difficult. Several times a week, crews spray for mosquitoes, but recently some days had to be canceled because of the wet weather.
My sprayers are able to do the job, but it is few and far between because of how unpredictable the rain has been.
And that rain left standing water in several spots.
Honestly, they're really bad in the mornings, right after it's rained and stuff like that.
James Farella says he's noticed extra bites on his body.
I'm basically a magnet to the mosquitoes.
Suffolk's mosquito control superintendent Charles Abadam says lying water could become a home for mosquitoes to lay eggs.
Ditches that aren't flowing, artificial containers that are just catching water in people's yards, it poses a threat.
Another concern, viruses. Abadam says mosquitoes found downtown Suffolk have tested positive for West Nile virus. Right now, between the rain, crews are spraying the area at night.
We're also larviciding areas that we know those particular mosquitoes are inhabiting, like catch basins.
Abadam says no one in the town of Suffolk has ever contracted the virus and says it's just something to be aware of.
City crews say if you are worried about mosquitoes, wear bug spray, wear long sleeves, and don't go out from dusk to dawn. In Suffolk, Ali Weatherton, 13 News Now.
And as Ali mentioned, Suffolk is one of several local cities where mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus this summer. Even though it may sound scary, the CDC says 8 out of 10 people who get West Nile don't show any symptoms, but 1 out of 5 develop a fever, along with symptoms like headaches, body aches, joint pains, or a rash. These patients fully recover, but they can suffer fatigue and weakness for months, and it's rare that people develop serious complications from West Nile. About 1 in 150 people develop an illness that affects their central nervous system, like encephalitis or meningitis. About 1 in 10 people who do die from